We're going to be talking about all kinds of topics today, particularly books that are on the market, but I wanted to show you something about Germany. First of all, I went to a press conference from Germany as a travel destination, and they have an unbelievable amount of things that you can do. I think Gloria is holding up the history up my bag about Germany, and they show all different kinds of things that you can see: cities, culture, shopping, abbeys, churches, magic cities, music and show, leisure and recreation, art, health, wellness, leisure parks, mountains and Alps, national parks and nature parks, business travel, architecture, rivers, lakes, seas, fashion, and festivals and fun fairs that go on particularly all the time in the fall. Barrier-free travel, hiking, cycling, specials, medicine, young people, scenic routes, palaces, parks, and gardens. So they're trying to encourage us to go there, and I think it might be a good idea because they certainly have a lot of things to see. Okay, so I want to show you who's on the show with us today that's going to be co-hosting the show with me. First of all, Gloria, would you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Gloria Holland, and I act as a consumer advocate for Karon shows.
And a big help on set design.
Oh, and everything, I
Yes.
hope.
And Dr. Coker, you tell us who you are.
Hi, Dr. Rindie Coker. I'm a naturopath and holistic medicine specialist. I'm in Villa Park, Illinois.
And we wanted to say, too, that she has free consultations for people who have chronic pain or any other kind of problem. So we'll let her tell us a little bit about that at the very end. We're going to talk about this right now because it's off the topic of books. These are CBD gummies, watermelon flavor and chocolate flavor. And they're made by Dixie and Dixie Botanicals Kicks. And I have tried them, and they do take the edge off of some pain. When I have to go to physical therapy for my knee, I notice that they take the edge off of some pain. Now, Gloria, did you try one yet?
I tried the chocolate one, and it was pretty good. I wasn't experiencing any pain, but I just wanted to see how it tasted. It does have some caffeine in there, but I didn't really get a big boost out of it, so I don't think it's too much.
No, I don't think it does give you a big boost.
And I just tried the watermelon one just to see how it would taste and if I would experience anything. Of course, you know, with the CBDs you don't get high, but it's supposed to help the body make its own endorphins, so you do feel better.
So, you know, I was never, again, I mean, I never wanted anything as far as recreational drugs or anything, but these, like I said, I've given, as a registered nurse, people all kinds of things that are derived from plants for pain and things like that, and these seem to have less side effects. So you can look for these, and they are made by DixieBotanicals.com. Okay, enough about that. Now we're going to get on to all of these books that we have here. I'm going to start with these because they're for kids. Books babies can really sink their gum into. Baby looks out the window, see the stars, getting sleepy, yawn, baby goes to bed. But the thing about this is that they're indestructible books. They're built for the way babies read, with their hands in their mouth. They won't rip or tear, they're 100% washable. They're made for the baby to hold, grab, chew, pull, and bend. And as you can see, we have one on Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. We have another one on Row, Row, Row Your Boat. And they have many more, the Itsy Bitsy Spider. So if you're looking for something that you want to give to a child, they've got Mama and Baby, they've got Peekaboo, they've got Welcome Baby, and things like that. They're really very cute. And they come from, let's see, all indestructible, Workman Publishing Company, who's given us a lot of other books here too. If you want to ever get a catalog or look up Workman Publishing Company, they have books on all types of topics. Okay, what should we do next? Let's see, how about this You Can Prevent a Stroke, because that's important. And I'm going to have Gloria hold one up so that you can see what it looks like. Did you know that you have 100,000 heartbeats a day? That's a lot of wear and tear over the years as we age. Natural aging leads to artery plaque, high blood pressure, and slower and irregular heartbeats. You can do everything right, time will still pass, you'll still age. While you can influence some aspects of aging on your own, some you cannot, at least not without your doctor's help. Establish a relationship with your physician, know the health of your heart, know the health of your arteries, know the regularity of your heartbeat. You know, I often wonder about people, like people say, oh, my relative was sitting in a chair and suddenly they just passed away, they just died. And they didn't have any kind of pain or seem like they were having a heart attack. And I often wonder, because sometimes we get this bradycardia where our pulse slows down if there's a problem with the electrical system and the bundle of His in your heart. And many of these people don't know that that's happening to them. I had a relative that had no idea, came back from a walk, and I said to him, "You don't look good, let me take your pulse." It was 40. And if it's under 60, that's not a good idea. So right away, he had to get a pacemaker. And that's what's important for all kinds of people. So people should learn to take their pulse. And I hesitate to tell you, don't ever take it in your neck. Although sometimes in the gym, they're telling you to do that. It's not a good idea because you could be pressing on your carotid artery. You can always take it on your wrist, find it with your 2 fingers. Don't use your thumb. It has a pulse of its own sometimes. So this is a book that you can read. You can prevent a stroke. Does anybody have any comments to make about this?
Oh, well, my comment, I guess, is the 2 doctors, Yamamoto and Thomas, that wrote this were trained at Johns Hopkins, so I'm sure they have some pretty good information to convey to us.
You know, I asked a cardiologist that was on the show one time, I said, "What do you think about this? What if you only have so many beats in your heart? And you're one of these people that's always speeding up your heart because you're always exercising with this cardio really fast. Maybe you run out of beats. Maybe that's when these runners keel over and they seem to be in good shape. Maybe they just used up all their beats." We don't know.
But then there's the old adage, use it or lose it, too.
So you just got to find a happy medium. Okay, can you tell us about one of the books over there that you have, Rindie?
Okay.
Dr. Rindie.
We have 3 Steps to Incredible Health by Dr. Joel Fuhrman. And Dr. Joel has written lots of health books, but now he's putting it into, it looks like he has 3 parts of this. This is part 1. Karen's got part 2.
Oh, I got 3. Oh,
3
you've got
3.
I'm sorry.
Oh, and there's a workbook.
Volume 2.
And there's a
And
workbook.
this is the other one.
So food is medicine. So step 1 is to learn it, understand the power of micronutrients. Step 2 is to live it, free yourself of food addictions, and lose weight effortlessly. Wouldn't we love to do that? And step 3 is love it, gain pleasure from superfoods, and enjoy incredible health.
Well, I know the people that I know that are in their 90s all eat broccoli all the time. And they say that that's a blocker for cancer cells. So
That's definitely one of the superfoods.
cauliflower, broccoli.
Right, they're cruciferous vegetables.
Well, I know
Right.
you love to cook, so you're going to have to cook us some of these things, Rindie.
Okay. Actually, with broccoli, it's the sprouts that have the most
The most
sulforaphane, and that's the compound that is so good for us.
Well, it's interesting. They say with bananas, too, when they start to turn what you think is bad, is actually when the antioxidants are the best in them, to put them in a
Right.
smoothie or something.
The best
They
fruit.
they don't look that good. But, you know, I froze some and then took them out and put it in the microwave, which is not a good idea to microwave things, and heat it up. It tastes like banana pudding. And it's healthier than all the other mixtures, because if I put flour in it or something, then I have aches and pains.
But it's delicious, those overripe bananas, for any kind of recipe, too. It brings out the banana flavor much more, I think, when it's really ripe. So,
Okay, what's next? That's the end of Dr. Fuhrman.
all righty.
Let's see which we go to. How about The Elegant Warrior? That's a little off the topic, but somebody has The Elegant Warrior.
I
Okay.
have the Elegant Warrior.
Okay, the guide to tapping into your personal strength when facing challenges at home, work, or socially. Trial lawyers can lose at arbitration and during arguments, and even lose clients. But the hardest losses, the ones that have evoked the saltiest tears, have come outside the courtroom for award-winning medical malpractice defender, host of the Elegant Warrior podcast, and anchor of the Law and Crime Network, Heather Hansen, during the time she's lost her way. Life is full of trials, and sometimes you need a warrior spirit to overcome them, says Hansen, who has spent 20 years fighting in the battlefield of the court. We all have to go to war at some times. Sometimes the combat zone is your home, your office, and sometimes your inner world. You need to put on your armor, your humor, your smile, your sarcasm, and preparation. And while it may be tempting to go for the win like a warrior, it's important to suit up in your elegance, available to everyone from men and women to baby boomers and millennials. The ability to be true to yourself, both who you are and who you feel. In her fiercest class, she has remained true to herself and her principle. She shares this journey and the wisdom she's learned from decades in the bar in her book, The Elegant Warrior, How to Win Life's Trials Without Losing Yourself. I've had a few of those trials, certainly in my business and my home health care agency when I had to fight for patients even up to federal court, which I might say we won. But my heart was beating 1,000 times a minute with some of the federal judges, some who were great. And I'm doing another book called Balloons and Band-Aids, and those stories will be in that book. And if you wonder where the balloons came from, they came from Old Chicago, which is an indoor amusement park, and from the movies that I worked on. So Balloons and Band-Aids, that'll be it.
Well, you know, one thing I guess I would like to say about this, I would think even for those of us that are retired and maybe no longer fighting corporate battles, I think sometimes we have to go out and fight for ourselves and act as our own advocates, either with the medical community or with the children, or as we, you know, form our trusts and maybe family issues. So I'm sure we could all gain some things from that as well.
Yeah, it's an interesting book. Then we have A Generous Life, 10 Steps to Living a Life Money Cannot Buy. And this is a little more difficult to read. Let's see. Near the end of our lives, many will ask ourselves the question. David Green, founder and CEO of Hobby Lobby, suggests we all ask it now instead and know the peace and contentment of living with future generations in mind. Whatever your income level or financial status, you have been blessed in friendship, family, work, education, or talent, and God calls you to bless others with those gifts. 10 simple, profound action steps to help you establish a generous mindset, determining where and how much you give, and creating a family legacy. And that's by David Green, A Generous Life. I know there's a lot of different people that have family businesses too and try to figure out the legacy of different things, but everybody has a legacy, no matter who you are. A Generous Life. Okay. Okay, let's see. Grab a book.
How
What would
about
you like?
this? If this book doesn't help, it might be you. And the whole premise behind this is it's directed to organizational behavior and how to help low employee morale. And it gives kind of day-by-day things that you can do to improve the morale of everyone at work and make people more productive, maybe address some of the underlying issues that are problematic where you work. So I think that's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. A lot of, let's see if there's a perfect example in here of something. Is this the one about Disney or?
No, that's a
okay,
different
you
one.
want to tell us about that
Sure.
one? Might have the press release in there.
Okay, this one is
Want me to
called,
hold it while you
yes,
talk?
It's called Lead Like Walt Disney. And it does not. So, whether you're building a small startup company, coaching a sports team, or managing a multinational corporation, Walt Disney's 7 key leadership traits will make you a more effective leader. Walt was one of the more innovative leaders of the 20th century, the first to produce animated cartoons in sound and Technicolor, and we all know the theme parks, Disneyland's. So he's got 7 timeless principles that are learnable skills, and they're transferable to any team or organization. So looking through these through the eyes of Walt,
up together.
Yes.
If this book doesn't help, and Lead Like Walt Disney.
and hey, we're going to Disneyland, right?
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah, that'd be great.
That's right.
So,
Okay, then we have what?
Okay, this is a fun book. And the premise of this, it's damned if you do, and it gives field-tested conversation starters that are guaranteed to provoke ridiculous fun, break the ice, and if played correctly, open a unique window into the twisted imaginations of friends and family. So some examples of some of the questions that they pose is, would you rather be stupid and rich or smart and poor?
Or would you rather be smart in a dumb world or dumb in a smart world? That's my question.
Would you rather have the CIA after you or have the mafia after you? Kind of one and the
Neither.
same sometimes. Would you rather perform a striptease for your in-laws or watch them do it?
Oh my God.
I think I take the fifth on that one. But this might be a fun way to spend some family time and
I think you better not do that
turn
with
off
your
the
family.
TV.
Okay, we
Sounds
got
like a
that
party.
one. Now this one is completely different. This is called The Yoke. And this has been Darrell Dunham practices law in Southern Illinois. He's been a Christian for more than 35 years. He and his wife have 5 children and 7 grandchildren. And he wrote this book because he believes there should be more Christian literature written for the benefit of young adults who are looking for encouragement in the faith journey. And this is about, as a lawyer, Barnabas quickly earned the respect of his peers. The brightest case of his career pits him against somebody else that must figure out a way to save his clients from Bill's underhanded attempts to steal their most prized asset, forced to decide whether to reclaim his faith. That's called The Yoke.
Is that fiction, Karen?
You know, this is actually, he talks about a story. His life has always been a struggle, from his father's abandonment to his mother's untimely death. Lost his faith in God and in people. Determined to fulfill his potential, he continued on out of respect for his deceased mother, grinding through his days. Then Bill Cushman entered his life. So let me see if he made this up. These things to me seem like they are based in truth usually.
Yeah, but it does sound like it's a compelling journey of faith, love, forgiveness, and redemption.
Usually these things come from some kind of
Some experience
yeah.
that's the basis for it. All right.
The Yoke. You put that in there. Okay, what's next? Be Heart Smart?
Yeah, would you like to do that one?
Be heart smart. So we're preventing a stroke. Is that CBD kicking in?
There you go. She's very relaxed now.
Oh, yeah, okay, it works. So, coronary heart disease takes the lives of 2,000 Americans every day.
Wow.
Wow, did you
That's
know
a
that?
bad
That's a
number.
lot,
2,000
yeah.
Americans a day?
2,000 Americans a day.
Go ahead.
But you don't have to be one of them. If you've been diagnosed with coronary heart disease or suffered a heart attack, you can still live a long, heart-healthy life. And Be Heart Smart will show you how. So Dr. Khan uses real-life patient stories and shows what CHD is and how it affects the body, explores the root causes and risk factors. We really like looking at root causes and risk factors. Different types of heart attacks and their warning signs.
Because
And they have to do with jaw pain, shoulder pain, back pain, elbow pain, arm pain, trouble breathing, sometimes what feels like acid reflux. I knew a cardiologist who died suddenly of a heart attack, and all he felt was acid reflux. And I don't want to say that's nothing, but sometimes if you take water immediately, you can do something to dissolve some of that, and it doesn't take other medications which may have side effects. And it's interesting, somebody just sent me something from a cardiologist about if you feel that you're having a heart attack, to start coughing and force yourself to keep coughing, because it helps the electrical impulse in your heart.
Yeah. And also women manifest very differently than men. So
Right, with women it might feel like the flu or a stomach ache.
Or nothing
something,
at
or
all.
nothing at all.
And I think we only have about 5 minutes, Karen.
Yeah,
so we
go
still
ahead.
have-
Okay.
Let's see, we'll do this quickly. Some special interest books, How to Become a Multicultural Church. And
Who wrote this? Let's see. Many churches aspire to be more culturally diverse, but find that they have no idea how to do it. He's a seasoned American pastor, looked at the unique challenge of serving the multi-ethnic, multiracial, multicultural church in one of Europe's largest cities. How we are changed by what the Spirit of God is doing in the city. Offers a personal story of a pastor. When diversity could be demonized, he reveals the beauty as the heart of the gospel and embodiment of the kingdom of God on earth. So if you're looking to start a church or reform yours, this might be a good How to Become a Multicultural Church. Okay?
And we have these two, Karen, that kind of go together. The Thriving physician and the thriving in healthcare. So I think if you're in the health industry or in healthcare, these would be good reads for you as well.
Well, the physicians are all getting burned out now.
Yeah.
And the nurses are all getting burned out. They're fighting for safe staffing and things like that because it certainly can burn you out. I remember when I worked 6 days a week, 2 days, 2 evenings, and 2 nights, midnights. And I didn't know if I was coming or going. I mean, really, because, and then if somebody calls in, you have to stay. I mean, I was in an accident one time and injured my tooth. They didn't have another nurse to replace me. I had to go to work
Right.
in the emergency room like that. So,
And it says it requires more than just mental fortitude. So this will maybe give you some hints in pacing yourself and about resiliency as well.
what does the thriving physician tell them to do?
Oh, well, it helps you explore an area of stressors and provide coping strategies designed to help you diffuse them.
Well, especially the doctors in hospitals
yeah.
now. And unfortunately, a lot of it has been taken away from your own office doctor because they have hospitalists who are there and don't really know you and spend a week working day and night and they're under stress. And it's
Right.
not the same as having a relationship with your own doctor. So
No.
things are very not good in healthcare today,
Very
in my
different.
opinion. Very
than they used to
different.
be.
Okay, I've got this Eat, Live, Thrive diet, lifestyle plan to rev up your midlife metabolism. A lot of women want that. Experience new hope, freedom, and success by changing your habits from the inside out. A science-based plan that equips you to permanently lose pounds and inches as you embrace health and vitality with delicious recipes, godly principles, and fuel new desires and behaviors. 3-phase nutritional journey. Personalize your transformation. So it's a nice looking book. Then we've got the Stress Eating Solution, the breakthrough program that trains your brain for healthy eating, lasting weight loss, and a joyful, vibrant life. Acclaim the Method, a gift from science to you, provides new hope for overweight Americans, one of the top 10 medical advances of the year. EBT is a novel and compelling approach to gaining control over your life and invaluable insight to those individuals who are engaged in a chronic struggle, and a technology based on 30 years of research. And this is by Laurel Mellon, PhD, the first method to show lasting weight loss after treatment ends. So that's another thing, and stress eating. I have to look at that because I think stress eating is a big thing. Some people don't eat at all when they're stressed, and other people eat all the time when they're stressed. Then we have Authentic Health for losing weight, feeling better, mastering stress, sleeping well every night, and enjoying a sense of purpose. We all have this, all of those things. I think all 3 of us. How to master habits and develop self-control for permanent change. The true cause of chronic weight gain and obesity. An approach to eating that reverses chronic disease. Why physical activity and sleep are powerful, positive messages to the body. So that's Authentic Health. I think we've had this on the show before. As we've had The Origin of Disease, The War Within, that's another one. Containing exciting information and thought, this book could help people find ways to improve or avoid disease that could dramatically alter their life. The Origin of Disease. Okay, now we've got this is off the topic, this is The Making of a Night Stalker. David Burnett takes readers inside the world of SOAR, the most accomplished and secretive special ops aviation unit in the world. A unique perspective reveals the importance of teamwork and heroism, what it's like to be a crewman at knife's edge. And where a moment of inattention can bring catastrophe to you and dozens of your closest comrades. Now there's some stress. He needs a stress book about
Well,
not
I
eating.
have a stress book right
Okay.
here. Well, in a way, 3-layered healing plan for anxiety and depression, mind easing. So I'm sure we can all use that at different times of our lives as well. And this is by Health Communications.
And I have one here that I don't see the book for, but there's a press release on it. It's called The Toxic Parent Survival Guide, Recognizing, Understanding, and Freeing Yourself from Difficult Relationships for the people who have endured nightmares or wastelands when it comes to their parental relationship. This book will explore tools allowing you to break the chains that hold you stuck in a mess you didn't create but you do have to live with. The Toxic Parental Survival Guide, Recognizing, Understanding, and Freeing Yourself from a Difficult Relationship. Okay, and I think you have the emotional intelligence over
Yes.
there. And it says why it matters how to use it, connect with people, earn more money, and help grow your business. There's an ever-changing need to connect with your employees, current and future. Attracting and keeping high-level performers is harder and harder. A true appreciation for emotional intelligence is essential for long-term success in America, corporate America. The book gave me concrete ways to identify level-headed problem solvers for my team. It provided the tools to train and motivate them as loyal servant leaders. The Non-Obvious Guide to Emotional Intelligence also. And you know, it's interesting because in my business, I mean, the bricks and mortar of the business are the relationships of the people when you have hundreds of nurses or hundreds of employees. And it always is amazing to me when they build a big building, they spend millions of dollars, and then they don't train their employees. And that could kill the business overnight, you know. So, do we have one left, or are we done?
I think we have
Okay.
one
We've
or
got
two
3
left.
minutes, so-
Let's see, this is Work the Future Today, Finding Your Path to Purpose, Passion, and Profit. And I like that. 3 parts of a new story, again, purpose, practice, and in place. The why of our lives and the gifts we have to offer, place with whom and where to share those gifts, and practice how and when to best share these gifts. So
Very
that's a
good.
way to work more positive thinking and practical application into our lives.
Okay, so now the positive thinking we're going to do is I'm going to let Dr. Coker tell you what she does really quickly, where she's at, and how you can contact her and get a free consultation.
Okay, I'm Dr. Rindie Coker. I am a naturopath and holistic health specialist in Villa Park, Illinois. I help people get out of pain, physical pain, emotional pain, and I have a pretty big toolbox. I work with my hands. I do some nutritional consultations, so a lot of these books are very interesting, especially the things about stress eating. And I offer a free 30-minute consultation just to sort of get to know you before we decide to work together in my Villa Park office. I can be reached at 708-955-7953.
And what's your website?
RindieCokerDN.com.
Can you spell that?
RindieCoker, D as in dog, N as in Nancy.com.
And you also have a new service called CryoSkid.
I have a new service called CryoSkin. CryoSkin is non-surgical fat removal. And as we saw all these weight loss books, there are so
Millions of
many
people.
diets out there, so many ways, and so many times we're just frustrated by the way it's not working for us.
And you're easy to find because your building has a big yellow sign that says dentist for the
Yes.
next office, and you have free parking, and that's a big thing.
That is true. Yeah.
So I want to thank you both for joining us, and thank you for joining us. I'm Karon Gibson, registered nurse, and we will see you next time. We hope you enjoy these books. Thank you very much for joining us.